Hello everyone. Today I am going to show you by example what scoreboarding is. Scoreboarding is a dynamic instruction scheduling algorithm that's widely used in computer architecture. Scoreboarding comes with the concept that if we install an instruction in a pipeline, we don't need to install the instruction behind it. That means if we install, for example, in this code, if we need to install a load instruction, the multiply instruction behind it can execute. So scoreboarding comes with the concept that we can issue the instructions in order, but the execution can come out of order. That means we can get the results out of order. We can get the results from add before we can get the result from mult. In scoreboard, there are 4 stages: issue, read operands, execution complete, write result. We will see these in details. And in scoreboard, there are 3 units: instruction status, functional unit status, and register result status. Instruction status contains the current status of the instructions, and functional unit status contains which functional unit is currently operating and which functional units are doing what, whether it's busy, whether it's not busy. We can get this sort of information from functional unit status. And what's register result status? Register result status contains which instruction or which functional unit is going to write to which register. For example, if integer is going to write to F6, we'll put integer here. So here we have a code. We have 6 instructions and we are at clock cycle 0. So nothing has happened. Let's move to clock cycle 1. What will happen in this clock cycle? What will happen in the instruction status? The first instruction load will be issued in clock cycle 1. Load is issued. Okay, fine. And what will happen to functional unit status? Load is of integer type instruction. So integer will become busy. Oh yes, integer is busy. What's the opcode? It's load. What's fi? Fi is here the destination register. Fj and fk are source registers. Qj and qk, okay. Qj determines which functional unit is going to produce fj. For example, if we have fj as f6, f6 is the first source operand, and if integer or mul1 or mul2 was going to, or another instruction is going to produce the result f6, then we should write the name of that functional unit in qj. And qk determines which functional unit is going to write or produce another source register, source operand fk. rj, rk. What then? Well, rj determines is the source register fj ready, and rk determines is the source register fk ready. If they are ready, we will put yes here, and if they are not ready, we may put here no. So let's proceed. In the load instruction, fi is f6. Is there any fj? No. Is there any fk? Yes. R2 is the fk. qj, is there any functional unit here that is going to produce fj? No, we don't have it. We don't have any necessity of fj. And fk, is there any functional unit that is going to produce fk? No. R2 is not dependent on any functional unit. So these fields will remain blank. RJ. Is FJ ready? We don't have FJ. So we need not to worry about RJ. RK is FK. That means R2 ready? Yes. R2 is ready. And what will happen to register result status? Register result status.
Regulation.
What it contains? It contains who is functional unit is going to write to one of these registers. Let me Fi, F6, destination register. Here we have to keep in mind that these destination registers will be these registers F0, F2, F4, F6. These will be the destination registers. Is there any functional unit? Integer, mult1, mult2, divide, add, who is going to write result to any of these registers? Yeah, now integer. Integer is going to write
Modulate.
to F6 somewhere in the future. Maybe 1 cycle or 2 cycle later. We don't know that. Okay, this is all about cycle 1. Instruction status table is updated. Functional unit status table is updated. Register status table is also updated. Let's move to clock cycle 2. What will happen now? Can load 2 be issued? No, we don't have any more integer functional unit that's not busy. So why will we issue load 2? Why will we keep him? So we can't issue load 2. Okay. Can load 1 read operands? Yes. The operands are not dependent on any functional unit. So load can read the operands in clock cycle 2. And there will be no change in register result status table. Okay, let's move to clock cycle 3. Will the execution of load complete in execution 3? Yes, load can be integer type instruction complete in 1 cycle. So execution of load completes in clock cycle 3. It enters in execution stage in clock cycle 3. It also completes its execution in clock cycle 3. And can load 2 be issued in this stage? No. Integer unit functional unit is not yet free. It's also yet busy as it has not completed its function, its work. And register result status will remain the same. Let's move to clock cycle 4. What will happen now? In clock cycle 4, load will write its result. Load will write its result at the end of clock cycle 4. Load will complete its write result. So in clock cycle 4, it has not completed its writing function. It will complete when the cycle completes. So as load 1 is yet in the functional unit status, integer functional unit is yet busy, we cannot issue load 2 in clock cycle 4 at the beginning of clock cycle 4. And the register result status will remain the same. And what will happen in clock cycle 5? In clock cycle 5, writing is completed by load 1. So what will happen? It will become not busy. Okay, it will become not busy. And the Second, this will happen at the end of clock cycle 4. This will all be, yeah. What will happen in clock cycle 5? In clock cycle 5, load 2 will be issued. Load 2 will be issued and integer unit will again become busy. Yes, become busy. What's the opcode? Load. What's fi? Now fi is f2. Oh, sorry. At the end of clock cycle 4, this f6 will be cleared. It will be cleared as writing to f6 is completed. Fj. Is there any fj for load 2 instruction? No. Fk, yeah. R3 is fk. Qj blank. No functional unit is going to produce fj. No functional unit is going to produce fk. Rj. There is no fj. So you need not worry about rj. Rk. Is it available? Yeah. Fk is available for use. And f2. Load 2 is going to write to f2. So who is functional unit? Integer. Integer will write f2. This is in clock cycle 5. Okay, let's move to clock cycle 6. What happens in clock cycle 6? First of all, load 2 goes to read operand stage. And can mult be issued in the same clock cycle? Yeah, mult functional unit. There are 2 mult functional units in MIPS. Both are free. So we can issue mult in clock cycle 6. Yeah, the first mult one becomes busy. What's this? Mult. What's fi? Fi is f0. What's fj? Fj is f2. Let's look. F2. F2 is not available. F2 is not available because it's yet going to be written by integer functional unit I load 2. Fk, is it available? Fk is f4. Yeah, it's available. Qj, which functional unit is going to produce fj, that means f2 integer. See here, f2 is not blank, there is integer, and f2 is our fj. So if j is not available, put here qj. Okay, and qk, then rj ready? No, rj is not ready. Fj, rk, yeah, rk is ready. See, we don't have all the operands needed for mult operation. What should we do? Probably we have to install mult instruction in the next clock cycle. And what will be the condition of register result status? Let's see. F0 is going to be written by mult1. Mult1 is the functional unit. Okay, fine. What will happen in clock cycle 7? In clock cycle 7, first of all, load 2 instruction will go to execution stage, and it will complete its execution in this cycle also, because as I told earlier, integer type instructions need only 1 cycle for being completed. And in clock cycle 7, can mult read the operands? No, mult cannot read the operands, as fj is dependent on integer, that means load2, which has not yet written its result. So we have to install mult here. And what about sub d? Can it be issued in the clock cycle 7? Sorry, clock cycle 7. Can it be issued in clock cycle 7? Okay, I can see there is one add functional unit that's free. So sub d can be issued. Subtraction is one type of instruction with negative sign, isn't it? So it's also a type instruction. So in clock cycle 7 we issue sub d, and the add functional unit become busy of is sub d. Sorry, sub d. What's fi? What's the sole destination? f8. What's fj? fj is f6. f6 is f6 free? Okay, this is blank, so f6 can be read. What's about fk? fk is f2. Look at f2. No, it's not blank, there is integer, so we have to write here integer. qj, no, fj is not dependent on any functional unit. qk, okay, so this is blank, this is integer. So here rj is yes, as fj is available, rk is no, as fk is not available. And what will happen to register result status table? See the destination register, it's f8. Look for f8 in register result status. Okay, it's blank now. Oh, we cannot keep blank. Sorry, which functional unit? Add. This is all about clock cycle 7. What will happen in clock cycle 8? In clock cycle 8, first of all, load will write its result at the end of clock cycle 8. Mult. What will happen to mult? Can it read the operands? No. At the beginning of clock cycle 8, the results are not written. At the beginning of 8, as the results are not written, so mult cannot read the operands. At the end of clock cycle 8, the write function is finished. So in clock cycle 9 or at the beginning of clock cycle 9, mult can start its reading. And what about sub d? Can it go to read operand stage? Look about sub d. No, it also cannot go to read operand stage, as it's also dependent on integer, that means load2, which has not yet finished its writing function. And can we issue div d? Look, there is divide functional unit which is not busy, so we can issue div d in clock cycle 8. Yes, what's the opcode? Div d. What's the destination register? F10. What's the first source operand? F0. Is F0 free? No, we cannot read F0, as it's dependent on mult1. What about Fk? Fk is F6. Okay, F6 is free. So qj is not available, it's dependent on integer. qk is available. rj, is it ready? Oh, had some mistake. Here's some mistake. QJ here is available. RJ here is FJ not available. FK available. Okay. And for sub D, FJ available. FK not available. Okay, that's fine. And for DVD, is FJ ready? No. Is FK ready? Yes. Fine. And what will be the change in register result status? F10 is the destination register. Look for F10. Yeah. It's all about clock cycle 8. Let's go to clock cycle 9. What will happen in this clock cycle? In this clock cycle, first of all, we change this. Load has finished by the end of clock cycle 8, so we should correct. We should click no. Okay. So integer unit again has become free or available for use at the end of clock cycle 8, and at the end of clock cycle 8 also FJ at the end of FJ, that means F2 is also ready. RJ has become yes. And what about sub D? Yeah, what about sub D? F2 is available. We should have to do this at the end of clock cycle 8. Let be in the clock cycle 8 instance. Yes, this one is also defined. Sorry, F0 is dependent mark 1. Okay, this one is not yet available. It's fine. So we are now free to move to clock cycle 9. At clock cycle 9, what will happen? Can mult instruction read its operands? Yes, as all the operands are available. All the operands are available. So mult1 can read its operands. And what will happen to sub D? Can sub D read its operands? Sub D, yes, all the operands are available. So it can also read its operands at clock cycle 9. What will happen to div D? No, div D cannot read its operands, as div D is dependent on the completion of mult1. And what will happen to add D? Can we issue it? Yeah. And sorry, we cannot issue add, as there is only one add functional unit, and that's being used by sub D. So in clock cycle 9 we cannot issue add D. Okay. So right now there will be no change in functional result status. Also, let's move to clock cycle 10. Okay. Okay, in clock cycle 10, what will be the change? Can malt go to execution stage? Yeah, as the operands are available, it can go to execution stage. Can subd go to execution stage? Yes, as subd has all the operands needed, it can also go to execution stage. What will happen to div? Can it read operands? No. Div is yet dependent on the completion of mult1. Can add t be issued? No, add t cannot also be issued because there is only one functional unit available. That's busy. Okay. Let's move to clock cycle 11. Let's move to clock cycle 11. What will happen to clock cycle 11? Okay. In clock cycle 11, add t will complete its execution as add type instruction requires 2 clock cycles for the completion of execution. Mult requires 10 clock cycles for completion of execution, and divide requires 40 clock cycles for the completion of execution. So subd is completed. Subd is completed in 10 and 11 clock cycles. Okay, and mult still remains in execution stage. What about add t? Can it be issued? No. It can only be issued when the right result of subd is completed. So there will be no change in functional unit status and also register result status table. At clock cycle 12, subd will go to right result status. Subd will go to right result status. Div yet cannot read its operands as mult is not yet completed. Can add be issued at the beginning of clock cycle 12? No, because at the beginning of clock cycle 12, subd has only started its writing function. Writing function is not yet completed. So at clock cycle 13, what happens? Add can be issued. Okay, because let's go back to clock cycle 12. In clock cycle 12, there will be some change in the functional unit status. At the end of clock cycle 12, this will become free. All this will become blank. All this will become blank, and this will be cleared. Okay. So now let's move to 13. Now Can add be issued? Yes, there is only one functional unit for add, and that's free. So we can issue add at clock cycle 13. Yes. What's this? Of course, is add. What's the destination register? F6. What's FJ? FJ is F8. Is F8 dependent on anyone? No. So we can read F8. FK. What's FK? FK is F2. Is F2 dependent on anyone? No. F2 is also available. So QJ, QK all are blank. RJ, RK. Yes. Yes. Okay. And what will happen to register result status? Destination is F6. So F6 is going to be eaten by add functional unit. Okay. Fine. So it's all about clock cycle 13. What will happen in clock cycle 14? Clock cycle 14. Can div go to read operands? No. It's dependent on multi one. Can add D go to read operands? Yes. All the operands are available. There will be no other sense. Let's move to clock cycle 15. What will happen in clock cycle 15? Oh, in clock cycle 15, DP yet cannot be, A cannot read operands. FD will go to execution stage, and there will be no other change. In clock cycle 16, what will happen? In clock cycle 16, first of all, our FD will complete the execution. Div D cannot yet read the operands. All things will remain same. Let's move to clock cycle 17. What happens? Add D goes to write result status. So at the end of clock cycle 17, add D will become again free. Add D functional unit will again become free or available for use. Okay, and this will be planned. That's all about clock cycle 17. What will happen in clock cycle 18? No change. What will happen in clock cycle 19? Now there will be some change. As we told earlier, mult completes its execution in clock cycle 10. So mult will be completed by execution. Mult will complete its execution. It will take clock cycle 10 to 19. That's it. Can div D read operands? No, because mult has not yet written its results. Okay, we just remove the first parts. We just keep it here. Okay, let's remain slide. The first one is the clock cycle at which it entered the execution stage, and the last one, or 19, is the clock cycle in which it finished the execution. What will happen in clock cycle 20? In clock cycle 20, mult will go to the write result status. That means at the end of clock cycle 20, at the end of clock cycle 20, mult 1 will complete its operation. So it will become free. Let's put in one PC. Okay, and this will become free. And Qj, that means Fj for divide will be available. At the end of clock cycle 20. So what happens in clock cycle 21? Now all the operands for divide are available, so it can read the operands. Okay, and what happens in clock cycle 22? In clock cycle 22, divd enters the execution stage, and it goes on for 40 clock cycles, and at the end of 40 clock cycles, that means 61, execution is complete. At clock cycle 61, the execution is complete. And what happens in the next clock cycle? In the next clock cycle, divd goes to execution write result stage, and it finishes it write result in clock cycle 22. So at the end of clock cycle 22, divide will again become available, and the register result status will be cleared. Here all the instructions are finished. All the instructions have written their result. See something interesting. See the issue column. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 13. That means the instructions are issued serially, or that means in order. And see the execution completion. See the execution completion or read operands. They are 3, 7, 19, 11, 61, 16. They are not in order. They are out of order. This is the speciality of scoreboard in pipeline. Thanks all for hearing. If you have any question, you can ask. I will try to answer your question at my level best. Thank you again.